So this was my first flight in Bassano today. I started at a Bepi launching place, which was quite easy and straightforward. The flight was about 1.5 hours and we had soaring conditions, and then the thermals came up to 10 meters a second, but only for a very short period. Yes, I'm impressed of how you can do the sport here. A lot of pilots in the air, and there's several launching places and several landing places. So here we are now at the landing spot in front of the hotel Garden Relais. Today we focus at the main paragliding area in Bassano. There's a second video for the not so common places. So here you find the landing where I just took the video. It's the Garden Relais with a huge big landing field. Then there's a second landing called Paradiso, which is also a quite big field. There's a third landing in this valley here, which belongs to the camping site. We have the Stella takeoff, which is to the south or southeast. Altitude is about 500 meters of height difference. We have the Pepe launching also to the south and the southeast, about 100 meters higher than Stella. Then we have a third launching, Pedana, which is more or less used by hang gliders only and not by paragliders. And finally we have the Cassette takeoff, which is directed towards the west. Approaching Bepi takeoff. Here we can see the clearing in the woods where the people are preparing their gliders. Yeah, it's looking nice. So the Bepi takeoff is a field with a size of about 50 to 50 meters. This is at about 9:30 in the morning. Starting from 10:30 it gets crowded, especially at weekends and good days. Then it might be stressful for some people. Every day you could find pilots in the bushes at the bottom of the takeoff, which didn't make it out to the air. Now this is totally unnecessary because there are a lot of other pilots who help you to lay out the glider. Another look at the takeoff, which is directed to the south or to the southeast. Start! Here you can see me shortly after my takeoff from the Bepi, and in front you get another impression of what this takeoff looks like from the air. Let us move from the takeoff to the landing at the Hotel Garden Relais. First of all, let's have a look at a map which I found in front of the hotel. It indicates how the landing should be done here. So if the wind comes from the south, east or west, which usually is the common situation, left circles have to be done for descending at the south of the hotel. Downwind leg to the north, base leg to the left, and final leg to the direction of the wind. If the wind comes from the north, then everything has to be done with a right circle at the north of the hotel the other way around. So all of this now in time-lapse video, and after that in single pictures. Downwind leg to the north. On the left of the pic you see the official landing field, and just below me landing field number C, which is also possible to land. Base leg over the parking, and final leg to the south. Below there is the landing field number A, the official one, and the extended one number B you see in the distance. Well, that was my first flight in Bassano. That is Bassano. But now let's go to the Stella launching. Stella is the main launching where all buses from Garden Relais are heading to. So here we are at the Stella launching place in Bassano. It's the first time where I'm going to use it, and it starts with a person in the tree. This is very common, as I find out the next days. Still a lot of pilots here, so it's already 5 o'clock. We had to wait for the taxi quite a while. And I don't have big ambitions anymore today. I just want to go down and yes, make a nice evening flight. Preparation for the forward start. It's a huge and big starting field, so actually you should not land in the bushes. And off we go. After the launch, I directly turn to the right, where normally you can already find the first lift. So here on the left hand side we can have a look at the Stella launching from the air. Height difference is about 500 meters to the landing. Not a lot, but every day enough to get up with the thermals to the top of the mountain. Now this is the second landing place here in Bassano, the Paradiso. This is also quite a large field for landing. And landing is possible from each direction. The field is big enough to come in from east, west, south or north. But let's have a look at the official landing instructions. If the wind is from the north, a circle to the right has to be done to descend. Then the downwind leg, the base leg to the west, and the final leg to the north. In the normal situation, when the wind is from the south, east or west, everything has to be done the other way around with a left circle, but also it's possible to get down with an 8 in the northern part of the landing field. Here we can see the landing in front of us. The wind in this situation came from the west, so I decided to do an 8 down here, then straight along the trees, and from the left side of the main landing field land against the wind. So wind from the north, right circle, and then like this the final leg. Wind from the south, left circle, in like this. Or D8. And let's have a look at this launching place. It's not for paragliders, it's only for hang gliders. And I tell you boy, one wrong step here and you're in deep trouble. Down here we find the last takeoff in today's video, the Cassette towards the west. Finally, we are now at a Cassette launching spot, which is towards the west. So well, what should I say to the Cassette? From the air, from the distance, it looks very good and very easy, but now if I'm here, I must say I think this launching place, depending on the wind situation of course, is a little bit a challenge. Up there you can prepare yourself easily, a lot of people same time, so there's no stress, no hassle, and it's getting slowly steeper and quite steep, so I think taking off here is no problem. But after the takeoff there are some obstacles in front, like the house to the right and trees to the west, so depending on the wind you also might have to turn to the left just to get out somehow. Well, I don't want to say something wrong here now, because I didn't use this takeoff and I saw videos on YouTube where taking off was very straightforward and fine, but standing here it seems as if it's not so easy. If there's a lot of west wind, then there's quite some, you know, some terrain to fly over towards the west. Then there's also electricity. So getting out here in my first impression might really not be so easy as I thought when I saw this takeoff from the air. Well, but try it yourself. So here we are now at the third landing place. It's belonging to the campsite here and to this restaurant. A view from the air to this landing site. Down at the left of my glider in front of me. Here I am in front of the Stella launching place, from where this landing can be reached easily. It is also a quite big field from north to south, but not recommended from east to west. So let's have a look how this guy is doing the landing here. Very nice. I hope you liked this video. If yes, you can also watch the second part of it.